have seniors who simply cannot read and seniors who cannot write. I literally broke down in the middle of class.
All right, so we're going to talk about that clip in just a minute. But before that, we brought in a very special guest to help us talk about this. One of the best dudes out there, period. Okay. We actually named the segment after his viral video for years. Okay. We used your clip and everything. He's no stranger to the show. He's no stranger to you. This is the Watermelon Man. My dude, man, Mr. Bomani Armah is in the building, man. What's happening? Hurrah. Thank you for joining us, brother, man. Listen, before we jump into it, you got an album out right now.
Yes.
Let the people know about it, man.
Sure. So the album is called Bomani Armah, is the Watermelon Man Part 2, The Big Slice. The theme of the album is that it's healthy, refreshing, with plenty of seeds. It's all about being red, black, and green. I come from a really cool, really black community here in Prince George's County, Maryland. I don't have to wake up my neighbors. My neighbors are really woke. What my neighbors need is a pat on the back and a slice of watermelon to let them know
Let's go.
to get refreshed and keep going. So that's what the album is about. It's a whole bunch of really positive, motivational music. The first single was called Not My Ministry, featuring my sister Ayana Gregory. You can find it anywhere you stream music. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. I've been pushing that really hard, and thank you for the support.
Oh man, thank you for joining the show, man. Seriously, brother. You already know you family, man. Like real live family. And you're also here. You also you're not just here because you are mans and you cool and you got a great album out and all that. You also are an expert on this particular subject. You know, people may know you from the Read a Book massive hit. You're also an educator. You work with educators. You train educators. You work with a lot of young people. Literacy and education is a big part of your brand. Okay, and you also made a video about this particular video that caught some that was interesting, and it was one of the reasons why I reached out to you in particular about this, man. So just give me your general thoughts on this video. And where he stands with his students in their level of literacy and their reading skills.
I was personally offended that he went to the internet to say this. One of their first jobs as a teacher is to create trust in the classroom, especially when you're dealing with subjects that are hard for your students. And I've had when I made the comments that I made in the video, people were like, well, he didn't say the kids' names and, you know, he didn't have the kids in the background. But by now, the students in his class know that he came online and said this. Their relatives, their neighbors, their classmates are trying to guess which kid he's talking about who can't complete 2 sentences of his writing assignment. There are other teachers in the same school system, in the same school, who have doubted the credibility of his statements, saying that they don't think the students are as far off as he says that they are. It's beyond the point for me. Like, you don't embarrass your students like that. The classroom has to be a safe space. Your students have to know that they can come bare their souls to you. They have to know that they can make mistakes in front of you. The art of writing well is the art of writing poorly over and over and over and over again until you get better. And if you know that your teacher is going to use the mistakes you make in writing, your inability to write, as fodder for their social media accounts, that's going to change everything. You know what I'm saying? And what I said in that video, and what I really mean and I believe, because this is the kind of work that I do with teachers. I'm a Kennedy Center teaching artist, and I do professional development with teachers for all age groups. The 9 months that he can spend helping them improve their writing would be more valuable to the 20 to 40 to 100 whatever kids he has. The 9 months he would spend helping them personally improve with their literacy skills would have a bigger effect than whatever viral moment he had. People don't take these viral moments. I know this from Read a Book. This is what I was saying in that video. I know this from Read a Book. People didn't watch Read a Book, and first of all, it was a joke anyway. But even if it was serious, people don't take those viral moments and be like, oh man, now I'm activated. Now I'm going to find some young person to help. Now I'm going to invest more money into the libraries. I'm going to go petition my congressman to make sure we're spending more money per student and that we have ELA offerings and blah, blah. No, none of that's going to happen. They're going to be like, man, these kids, that's why they shouldn't have tablets. And that's why you need to take away their Jordans. And they scroll on to the next thing. That's all you get from that. What would have been more valuable is for him to just lock in with those students. And then there are other things that you see when watching it, like, I mean, I hate to tell people this, but like college is not the goal for every student. No. Like he's saying he's afraid that these students aren't going to be literate enough to make it to college. And he says in the video that he can see that they know how to reason. Then we're halfway there. If they know how to reason, just lock in. You got some time with them. Make it happen. They are not going to improve to the point where they're college ready at the end of 9 months. But part of the ELA lesson you give them, and this is the ELA lesson I give my students, is not only literal ELA lessons, but examples of how English language arts are important in their future and inspiration to keep learning after they've left my classroom. All right. But what I'm not going to do is for content, let people know that my classroom is full of people who can't read. Like that is the exact opposite of what his job should be. And I haven't checked. I was trying to Google to see if he still had a job. I don't understand how that's not a fireable offense. I don't get that at all. And maybe Paul like amended it when I said it. Like I know him. People have said that he has other things where he has scammed people. I don't even know about that. I've seen him cook like fish on Instagram a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's about it. But that's not what you go into the classroom for. And I was really thrown off that he did that.
Yeah, that's Darius Cooks for people that may not have realized the foodie creator or whatever you want to call him.
A restaurateur as well, from what I understand.
Yeah, and there was some drama with him. I'm gonna look it up as we talk because I don't want to just talk out of turn. But there were some things. This is one of the ones where I want to say everybody before I'm not going to because I want to hear what Nargis has to say and then Paul opposite. Everybody on this stream, all of you are light years better writers than I am. Okay, seriously. And I mean that as a compliment. I don't mean that to shit on myself. So this is a good one because we're surrounded by people that write well on the stream. And I've been they'll tell you, Bomani, I've been wanting, we do this segment called A Young, which we're going to do a little later today. And I've been wanting to do it on those viral videos of kids that can't read like somewhat complex sentences. And I have thoughts on that. I will talk about that later because I realize I realize why that might be happening in that moment, but we can get to that later. But I'm just very interested. I've been very interested to see especially with Nargis and Paul, think about like this literacy thing that's going on. So Nargis, I guess I'll just start with you. Like, just what's your general thoughts on the video and just the subject in general?
Yeah. So to Bomani's point, what did you expect to happen on the other side of that video? Other than you getting some type of, viral moment. Like, in no way does this video benefit your children, your classroom, your credibility as an educator, nothing like that, right? It gave me flashbacks to, my very short stint in bed in the classroom. And being a novice educator, I told my 10th grade journalism students of varying backgrounds, like, I'm never going to give you a false sense of ability.
Yeah.
But it's also not your fault that this is complicated for you and this is not complicated for you. There's no fault to lay here, right? We're going to track your progress differently than we track your progress. And this is not a group discussion, right? This is what I'm having in dialogue with my students individually.
Yeah.
Because classroom management 101, don't embarrass the babies.
Yeah.
Because you lose them immediately. We talk about high schoolers.
Yeah.
We have to do what's interesting to them. I'm curious about what the lesson, like, they really could have been playing you, bro. Like, was the lesson even engaging? You're talking about annotation and all this other stuff. Like, you could have, I promise you, if you had done like a social media caption contest and fill it whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the context of the lesson.
Yeah.
But they probably didn't like it. So they weren't engaged.
Yeah.
So they probably just wanted you to leave them alone.
Day 2.
Because one thing kids know how to do is play dumb.
Yeah.
They're experts at it because it gets them left alone. Right.
Yeah.
So if he's never, you know, if his professional background is not the youth and it's, you know, salmon on a plate, then you don't know that coming in. You just gonna take everything the kid is saying at face value. which all of us can name 5 kids right now that we know who play dumb.
I was one of them.
Because they don't want to be bothered.
I was one of them.
So it's like, to what Bomani referenced before, like it may not be as extreme as he may be experiencing it from other more seasoned teachers who are within that same school. Not saying there are some kids who, you know, again, everyone comes in with varying stages of ability, but to be weeping online, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's my
Yeah. Go ahead, P.
The unfortunate thing with delivery through the internet and different things nowadays, it's hard to note the authenticity of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro is already a content creator, right? So even if he were attempting to bring forth a message of bringing the fact that literacy is down, right? Sometimes you can't get past the fact that we already know that you like all the crying and all this stuff. Like it's placing more onus on me. I want you all to see how this is affecting me so badly. The state of the nation is so terrible, and the state of our black boys and black girls is so terrible. It's really causing me to cry in front of everyone, and I want you all to feel how important this is. You understand what I'm saying? So taking away bro's performance and all the things that we know that certain content creators do, and going into parts of the message, because there is a I remember when we were all going to PG. And I'm being for real with you all. I was talking to one of my friends, and I didn't know that that people took developmental classes. Like, I really didn't know that. I didn't know that in college you go there and you got to go to. I was talking to one of my friends who like, there's a DVM class. I didn't know what it was, and I was like, well, what does that mean? And they're like, you just go there to, I guess, to get your moxie up, to get your your hours in and all that, so you can start taking classes where you can get credit for. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was wild, but I'm no educator or anything like that. So then I started, talking to different people and listening to them. I've gone to private school all my life. They had in Christian private school. So with that, they had a Becker curriculum that stresses phonetics, that stresses phonics, that stresses blends, that stresses so many things that make the reading process honestly very simplistic, like super simplistic and easy. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can think in your mind that this is something that's normal, like when it's not. I know that there are varying statistics now that say that there are 12th graders now that have a very low reading proficiency level. And I don't know how much of that is performative or how much of that is real, but I think that I think the one good thing that came out of bro's whole diatribe is the fact that we're able to have an actual conversation on it, taking it away from his element performance and then people just responding to him performing as opposed to responding to what the actual problem is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was a bad student. I was one of those kids that I was a C student, sometimes a D and F student. School never really captured me. It never really captured my attention. I was performative in class. I didn't try hard. All of those things. So whenever I see a kid like that or hear about kids like this, I understand it and I relate to him. When my son struggles a little bit at school, I'm able to talk to him and help him understand. Like, I get it. And I do believe, and we can open the floor on this one. Anyone can chime in. I don't know. I do think that we do have, I mean, America in general, our education system isn't necessarily on par with other countries and other places.
I agree.
But I don't think that's a black problem, and we often make it a black problem. And that's where it becomes an issue. And I do take issue with a person that's like, you know, got a bit of a reputation. I mean, I found this stuff on Google, has a bit of a reputation, is a social media, influencer, and yes, a restaurant had on the restaurant and all that, but it was an influencer hopping on camera on day 2 talking about my kids can't read. I do have a problem with that. You know what I mean? I think we all agree, like, what do we get from that? What were you expecting the public to do about that other than look at you and think, oh my God, you're such a good man. You're
such a dedicated teacher.
These poor little black boys and these poor little black girls, these ignorant little children, and you in there working. Poor black man, you in tears. Why are you in tears? It's day 2. It's your job to get them to where they need to be. You got a whole school year. You got a whole school year to get them where they need to be. Why are you crying? So yeah, beyond that, and Narcs and I have taught in the school before, okay? And we know how they do teachers sometimes. And I don't know, you know, tenure and all that. Beyond it going viral and being embarrassing to the school, Bomani, I'd have to pull homeboy in just if he was just a regular teacher and be like, "Are you okay?
Get it together.
Are you built for this?
Right,
you're crying,
right on the second day, bro. Right,
like you're crying, my dude. Like, is this? Did we make the right hire?
Send.
Right.
Yeah, and you hit send." It ain't no difference to me. Y'all remember that video of that little girl that was like a substitute? Now, she said something horribly inappropriate in the video, but it was this girl. She was like a substitute. And she was like, you know, in my first day being a substitute, I look like the kids. I look like one of the kids. She's walking around the school. Oh, y'all haven't seen that video? Please watch it. Okay. Yeah. And she was like, she kept talking about how, like, and she had like, but where she messed up is she recorded students looking at her like, oh my God, is she one of the kids? Is that a teacher? And her going, I could be one of y'all. And she got fired like immediately.
Yeah. She's not supposed to be there. She's not mature enough for this position.
You are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's literally a great question.
And I love the point that Nard just made about, like, they really, seriously, day 2, they could have been playing him.
Come on,
high school juniors and seniors. That's like such an easy game to play. You know what I'm saying? You just messing with them. You know what I'm saying?
You're clearly new. Like,
yeah, you're clearly new.
Right.
My first day in the classroom
day
at
2,
Richard, right. Yeah.
And then day 2, they're giving you the, go ahead.
No, please continue.
Day 2, you're setting whatever he was giving him is supposed to be his baseline understanding of his students. So he knows what to work on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like he said, he already said that he knows that they're intelligent, that they can reason with each other. And so that's even more evidence to me that they A, might have been playing with him, or B, all they need him to do is do his regular job. You know what I'm saying? Walk him through these moments. And
bro, my first day in the classroom. My first day in the classroom. And again, Nargis and I taught at the same school for a little while, right? I had no business teaching in anyone's classroom. I will tell you that right now. I come from a family of educators, and I had no business teaching. Okay, teaching is a calling, and I respect all teachers. That's why I would say to him, maybe this ain't for you, my boy.
This ain't your ministry.
Yeah, this ain't your ministry, my dude. But I remember my first day in the room, and I remember I had my suit on and everything, and I'm a teacher, and I was walking in the room, and my room went berserk. Okay, because I didn't have that innate skill to just control the room that these teachers have. One of my students was literally underneath the desk, meowing like a cat. Meowing like a cat. Meow under the seat.
Hey, look.
I remember him because he was dark. His little eyes, all I could see was his little eyes. I think it was meowing like a cat.
That's the exact student who would walk down the hallway and open my door and run.
Yes.
Just because he knew it would piss me off.
We know who you, yes. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, that man.
Oh, I hope he turned out okay.
I hope he's fine. I hope he's okay.
I hope he is happy and well.
Hope he's okay. The boy almost 30 by now.
Got the attention that he needed.
He got the attention that he needs.
Because that's what it is. You're supposed to grow out of the phase where you don't recognize negative, where you can't differentiate negative from positive attention. But like through the second grade, it's like, as long as you noticed me, I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? And then some kids hold on to that way too long.
That's absolutely true. So you have to be built to be in that room. It is a serious job. You know what I mean? And so
how do y'all feel about,
go ahead,
I'm sorry.
No, please.
I'm curious because I follow a few like educator content creators, right? And I always have sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's like, should this like they don't pay teachers that much. So, you're monetizing your job to get the extra stipend, that's cool.
Right.
But I'm curious, we have some, down in Georgia, there's quite a few counties that have like banned cell phones from the schools. Obviously, kids still find a way to sneak in because they're kids. But I'm curious if there is not going to be a push to like have desk phones for teachers. You know what I mean? Like to ban teacher usage of cell phones. You know what I mean? When we were talking last week just about like the normalization of like having your personal life so close to you with work. I just wonder if this is gonna create a larger, if more situations like this come out, because you'll see, teachers who get fired because they did have their kids, on camera, and sometimes they go to another school, they go to a different school system or what have you. But like as this kind of becomes, and as more Gen X, that's who's after millennials, right? As the younger kids are starting
Gen Z. I think it's Gen Y now. Gen Z. Yes, I'm with you. Yes, Gen Z. Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
As more
the youngins.
Yeah, the young joints. Like as they're coming in and they're, trying to get their little side hustle stuff on. I'm just curious if there's going to be more parameters around restricting that. Right? Because I can't go into City Hall and make content about being a government employee.
Right.
No, quick, I'll get fired.
So
that's
I don't know. I think it's like, because some of it's really cute. Like some of it I like, but I just wonder, like, where is that fine line?
Yeah,
where
I feel like
shouldn't.
As long as the students aren't the butt of the joke, don't have shame put on them, then I see it. Now I'll tell you what is true, and I would imagine if he hasn't been fired, this is why. The American teacher shortage is very real. Like principals have to put up with more than they would want to. Even I can't imagine my friends on my social media, the ones who are currently classroom teachers, are like, I don't understand how that's not a violation of his contract. But then if you get rid of him, what do you do?
Who's going to replace him?
What do you have?
He's a black man too.
Yeah.
He's a black man in the classroom, which That's a great point. And it's a new, and before we broaden it to just literacy, just in general, it's a new world we're living in, and we're all getting used to it. I actually had a conversation with a dude I met at Podcast Fest recently, and he was actually referring to our episode that we did about millennials not growing up, right? And he kind of took the question kind of literal, but he made a good point. He was saying that it's not that we haven't grown up, it's just that he was like, millennials haven't gotten used to the new world that we're living in completely. He was just talking about how like we've been shocked with all these technological advances. And there's been more technological advances like in our lifetime than most generations in the past, right? And that to the side, I think it kind of applies to classrooms and newsrooms. Like one thing, I work in a newsroom, and one thing I try to get the reporters used to is like, you can't live off your writing anymore. You have to get in front of the camera. We need you. You have to deliver your news. I imagine it's the same thing that happened to a newspaper writer like in the 1920s. It's like, yes, but the radio is here. If you were a radio reporter in the 1940s and 50s, but hey, television is here. You should think about how you could present your news in a different way, right? And so I think it's the same thing with the classroom. You're not necessarily using it to educate, but you could probably, right? So I think people are trying to figure out how does the morale of our teachers, right? It was a video I just saw earlier where it was like they would walk, the teachers were first day of school. Hey, Miss So-and-so, how many years have you been teaching? 10 years, and they would turn her into a 10-year-old. So every year you've been teaching, they would turn you, they would like use AI to turn you into like that version of yourself. And it's cute. And it's a thing to keep the teachers happy and keep their morale up. I saw another thing that was like, hi, I'm Miss So-and-so, and this is my first day of class is 9:00. And then they come back to her. I'm Miss So-and-so. This is the end of the day. And she look all haggard and messed up because she's been working all day. Cool. But the kids aren't in the video. Right? Mm-hmm. But you want to use it to I think someone made that, Bomani or Nargis made this point about like using social media. I think Nargis made this point, like using social media as part of your curriculum, right? Using and being martyrs. So I'm saying all that word salad to say, I don't know what you do about this. Because on one hand, you want for morale, and maybe it can end up being a really cool tool. But on the other hand, you have this guy or the little substitute teacher walking around talking about how young she looked and how the little kids is looking at her. Got to find that balance, you know? How do you do it? I don't know.
You know, I want to bring up something you said, Adam. You said you were a bad student, but you're obviously smart and intelligent. And smart and intelligent and good student are not the same thing. Like my SAT scores got me into every school that I applied to for college. But when I went and talked to them, they look at my GPA and it was like, what happened? Like, why does your GPA look like this, but your SAT score looks like this? And I was like, And then when I'm in school, the subjects that were part of my major, I aced. And the things that would have taken me to just have like more discipline and just be a good student, I struggled in the stuff that would have required me to just be a good student. You know what I'm saying? But if it was down my alley, I was fine. And so we got to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, once again, all those kids aren't supposed to go to college, and all of them can learn. And also the teaching and the learning doesn't stop in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I know it feels like an emergency. But if they're not on level by the time they're 18, they can continue to learn at 19 and 20 and 21. We also have to give their parents of some grace, because in the comments of all these things, they always say, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. The parents probably got passed through school without learning. You know what I'm saying? Like they have an adversarial relationship with school because they had to suffer through it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be like, yo, mom and kid need to learn together. We need to get better at reading. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be what's wrong with you. Like they didn't turn 19 or turn 25 and all of a sudden they've got their life together.
Scholar.
They're still the 16-year-old, the 17-year-old who is struggling. So it's like, we have to learn how to read. We have to figure that out.
When you talk about lifetime learning, just real fast, Paul, and just real quick, you talk about lifetime learning. I just downloaded an app on my phone called Vocabulary, bro. I don't know if y'all probably can't see that. That's my daughter.
Oh, we just see.
You see, it just gives you like a vocabulary word every day, like 2-3 times a day.
Right.
Because I realized, you know, I want to strengthen my vocabulary. I want to have more words in the arsenal. You know, I'm still learning, and I'm 44 years old. And also my SAT score. How much they give you when you got your name right? When they're like,
I was like
700 points.
In the old scoring, it was like 700 points for your name.
700 points.
I spelled my name right.
Man, I'm a brag because my GPA was horrible. I went and saw Backyard the night before. I didn't get home until 3 o'clock in the morning and absolutely crushed the SAT. If I had studied for it,
you probably would have had a beautiful mind.
It's like what Bomani was talking about, though. It's so many different things. There's so many different ways of learning so many things. I remember when I was going to PG and taking all of my television, radio classes, and all I'm talking about, I'm acing everything. I even made the dean's list. So I go into the office one day, and one of my advisors was like, hey, why don't you take advanced classes? This is what she said to me, right? And I laughed at her. I said, hey, I'm doing stuff that I like. Like going to these classes, it's like fun. Like I'm not as smart as you think I am. I'm just having a lot of fun doing the stuff that I like doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when I had to go to some of my other elective classes and different things like that, Man, please. That same fervor wasn't there. I think that everyone has to learn how to navigate this space positively, like what Bomani was talking about. Like, who's to say? Like I said, bro, taking bro aside and his performance and all of that stuff, I think that there is credence to people paying attention to how like young kids being in front of screens affects their retention level. Like, I think that is important to actually study as we go along. But I'm not saying damn everything to hell and don't let you use the screen and all those things. I think that is just important to utilize every part of the tool and see what part of it is making things weaker, because there is statistics talking about how we even know that just the way that we have to deliver things now, like even learning how to do also the things with the algorithm and even retaining the attention of adults is much more difficult nowadays. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I think that it's just important, like beyond Bomani was talking about, to shed these things in a positive light. Even if you wanted to talk about concern, you can talk about those things. And like you said, without embarrassing children, that is not the job or the goal. And definitely, like all of you have said, definitely not on the second day of school. You understand what I'm saying? Like what are we talking about? Like that's what I hope that we can keep studying, keep learning the positive effects of it and the negative ones, because there are positive things, like being able to have both the teacher and the kids engaged is very important. I visited Adam a few times when he was teaching at Richard Wright. A few times I was in the classroom with him.
Oh, and he said it.
So y'all keep staying to school, y'all.
Did I say to school?
You did.
You did. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
You gotta do
That's my bad. I did not mean to say the name of that.
As long as you're not employed there anymore, I think you're fine.
He's not at all. All I'm saying is
this kid is almost 30 at this point.
They are. They got
all I'm saying is this. I called bro. I'm outside. And I say, hey, bro, I'm coming inside. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. I say, hey, man, I'm already out here. You know, somebody about to let me in. I'm on my way. So I get inside the hallway, Bomani. I'm talking about I get in there, and then as soon as I turn around, there's a youngin'. I'm talking about leaning and cussing whoever that administrator, like professionally out. Like, I mean, giving them like real good professional treatment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking right there. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what's happening right there. I go a little bit further up. A couple other people are fighting over here. And it was interesting making it to bro's classroom. I'll just put it that way. And then once I got there, you know, it's on his best. Like he truthfully cares about what he's doing. But it sucks that there is a shortage. It sucks that America and other places don't place more value on the fact that people are out here educating, like literally educating your children, sometimes at cost to them, sometimes at, you know what I'm saying? Like that really sucks. But this isn't everyone's lane, and everyone isn't here to make a difference. Some people are here to make paychecks. And honestly, nowadays we can see some people are here to make content.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's just a job they can get, honestly. Sometimes it's like a thing some people can just fall back on. I hate that. But I want to say real quick, and then Bomani, I'll let you jump in, and then I want to play a clip. I talked about this school on many podcast years.
Sorry, kids.
Years. No, it's for them kids. They ain't kids no more, first and foremost. And,
right.
They got
kids.
I
don't when we was teaching them.
Yeah, really. But that's to the point, right? What she just said is to the point. That was a new school that was finding itself, to be honest with you. When I say I ain't had Nargis had business in the classroom. Nargis has gone through the education system, and I was in there under a program that just brought in
one of us got fired at him.
Well, hey, listen. You didn't deserve it. I'll tell you that.
Voluntarily.
That's more to the point. That's more to the point, though. That's actually to the point I'm making.
Yeah,
I didn't get fired, right? Because I was of use. This is a multimedia school, and we need the multimedia people to be here. We can't be firing them, because then how are we going to get more multimedia people to justify the fact that we're a multimedia school? But none of those kids that were there had any. Well, I won't say none of them. Very little of them had any interest in studying journalism, studying multimedia, studying music, any of that. A lot of them were just kids that they could get inside the building to keep the charter. Okay. So I don't, when we talk about these schools, because Paul tells that story often. Say again.
I said their check came with IEP. Their IEP came with checks.
Yeah, all of that,
money.
right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So sometimes we don't tell the whole story about these schools.
Yeah.
We get into this kind of like being on me type of thing going where it's just because the kids is crazy and the teachers are just like, what the no, sometimes the teachers are not set up for success at all because they're dealing with, because again, I'm there with no teaching experience, no credentials, no nothing other than the fact that I worked in the multimedia space for a couple of years and they saw some value in that. So I'm standing in front of a bunch of kids that's in some classroom about to learn radio, and they're like, "Why do I need to learn radio?
They don't give a damn about it." Right.
And so that's why Paul witnessed what he witnessed, because that particular student was one of my favorite students, but that student was in the streets heavy, and he was just having a hard day that day, and the administrators, God bless that administrator too, because that's my man, were choosing to treat him to kind of use like the jail block method on the kid as opposed to the understanding method. You know what I mean? And so again, I don't want to go on forever about that. Huh?
I said my classroom had pillows and blankets.
Yeah. So we can go on and on, you know what I mean? But I always want to give grace to the kids whenever we tell these stories. Not that you weren't, Paul, you were making a point.
Right.
But I always want to give grace to those kids because I don't believe it was the kids' fault at all. It was not their fault. It was the situation. They just weren't ready to have a school. Like we were saying, homeboy wasn't ready to be in the classroom, to be honest with you. So go ahead, Bomani.
So I can talk about this forever. One of the main things I want to point out is that we talk about the state of education in America. Yeah. Americans have always been as educated as the oligarchs want them to be.
All right, let's go.
If it made sense numbers wise, if they made more money, if everyone was more educated, everyone would be more educated.
That's real.
If it was healthy for the bottom line, whatever they say now, the average reading level is 5th or 6th grade. They must have crunched the numbers and realized this is as educated as they need to be in order to get their yacht, in order to get their vacations. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that throws off what the ruling class want education levels to be, the only thing that makes it spike when they didn't intend it to, are Black freedom schools. Are the schools ever since slavery and then during Reconstruction when Black people was like, oh no, we gonna learn how to do this. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of my work around Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass learning how to read and teaching how to read in Sunday school while still being enslaved in Eastern Shore, Maryland, had a bigger effect on the world and the United States than they intended. They were trying to stop him from reading because they figured if he learned how to read, something would go wrong, and it did. He helped start the Civil War and ended slavery as we know it. You know what I'm saying? During Reconstruction, they didn't want those freedom schools to operate. And those people, including Booker T. Washington and all these other kind of people, raised the literacy level well above what the bankers and the people who run the country want. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that we're not, it's not broken in that sense. It's broken in the sense that us as people in our community want our schools to be more educated. Yeah. And especially, I think we're all PG County people here. Like PG County has a bad rap. Like I have horror stories working with young people and dealing with the teacher shortage here in PG County, but it's also never as bad as people say it is. I remember years ago I did the math and I need to do it again. But per student, money spent per student, like our test grades don't match up to some of the richer counties like Montgomery County exactly. But considering what we spend per student, we outperform that. If that makes any sense? You know what I'm saying? We do more with less here. And we graduate outstanding students, and we always outperform where the system is supposed to have us at, because we've always had that understanding that we have to work twice as hard. We're just going to make sure we don't do that twice as hard to get half anymore. We're going to do 3 times as hard and get out of this system. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to make sure people understand it's not a mistake. There's nobody in Capitol Hill wondering how they can actually fix the education system. They're just trying to get us to calm down and not make a big deal out of it because it's exactly where they want it to be.
Yeah.
Can I offer something else?
Yes, go for it, Nargis.
You can make your point, Adam, if you want.
No. I'm gonna run a clip after you finish.
Oh yeah, no. I wanted to offer kind of. Bomani touched on it a little bit earlier as far as like education outside of the classroom, right?
Yes.
So we know parents are tired. I was fortunate to be homeschooled a majority of my time, and my mom was tired at home, right?
So was I.
Like being a parent is exhausting. But I do think I'm trying to figure out how to say this in an articulate way, and I can't think of it, but like this generation may not be like written word in a book literate, but they do have a degree of literacy, right? It's just how you package it to engage with them. Like reading for me as the youngest homeschooled child who couldn't just watch TV was escapism for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into it. I got into like y'all saw. I got excited about Animorphs the other day, like Goosebumps, all of that. That was a way for me to. I'm still excited about Animorphs.
I ain't gonna go. I ain't starting with you. Go ahead.
Ryan Coogler said Animorphs is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Walter Dean Myers, like all of these authors is like who I grew up reading and looking forward to those next books coming out. And then that was a way, because my mom was a reader, we would relate. We would pass books back and forth with one another, right? So it's a muscle that I developed very early that has atrophied because I'm old. But I think it's really important to position reading and stories, like I said, escapism, reading for comprehension. Like there's a way to make engage, not even just important. It's a way to make that engaging. It's a way to make it not boring and read it. I see my stepson do it. He'll read that paragraph and he'll read that paragraph and he got to answer 2 questions about that paragraph. And he's just like,
yeah.
But you give him a little manga, anime, Captain Underpants, right? Give him a little Blue Lock anime book. He'll tell you about that thing backwards and forwards, right? So it's not that he can't read and comprehend. He doesn't want to read and comprehend that because it's taking too much. And again, I don't know what the formal solution is. Like, I try to be very intentional. Like my daughter knows we're going to read 2 books before she goes to bed. But I also try to make sure I've been in like youth camp spaces where reading is positioned as a punishment, right?
Which is
That's
crazy.
too bad. You can't come and watch the movie with us, but you can go read in that corner.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like the sloppy seconds of entertainment. While the other kids get to go have fun, you got to go over here and pick one of these books.
Read this dreaded book. Right.
Right. Yeah. Like we just have to be conscious of like how we are positioning kids to engage with the written word, but also the other side of that is not feeling like they are just destitute and hopeless if they don't want to if they don't gravitate towards books, but they do gravitate towards XYZ. Maybe they're more musical, they're more visual, they're more math minded, what have you. Like there's a spectrum of the way people learn. So just because sitting still reading a book or reading a paragraph and answering sentences is a challenge for them. It doesn't mean they're incapable. It just doesn't, it's not what their learning style responds to, right? And sometimes parents are aware of that, sometimes parents aren't aware of that, but it's not a all sum thing, right? It's not the parents need to do better, it's not the kids need to do better. It's a multifaceted effort. That everyone, can, play their position and keep it pushing.
Let me run this clip real quick. Hold on, Paul. Let me run this clip real quick because you're probably gonna respond to something that I'm about to play. I got that feeling. I think we're in that point of the conversation. So let me just run this clip real quick.
Said I had
Because y'all know I've been wanting to do these for a minute, and this this is so interesting to me, and I'm glad actually this one isn't just black folks. This is one I found. Here we go.
Read this in next card.
The emancipation.
Read this in next card.
The Emancipation
Proclamation
proclaimed
catalyzed a systemic reconstruction of outerbellum
Blaze high, man.
soulless political
You sound it out.
No, let's do another card.
carries.
Read this in this card.
The Emancipation Proclamation categorized.
Read this in this card.
The Emancipation Proclamation catalyzation
Stimulated
does it have to do with Jesus?
construction
Systemic reconstructing
of
antebellum
audibility,
social political
political damn
hierarchies.
heretics.
Okay. All right. Now, that's funny just because the sound effects and all of the way it was cut and all this, right? And those things pop up on my timeline a lot, like 2 or 3 every other. I feel like maybe because I watch them, I get them like every 2 or 3 posts is one of those things. And I found one where people are reading them straight through, no problem. But most of them are like that. Okay. And at first, my natural instinct was to go, oh my God, these kids, these young people are just, what the hell? They can't read. Oh my God. It's not this, that, another. But I do want to add one caveat. The dude is probably standing like in front of like a club or like,
of course, some people are drunk.
I was waiting to say
people are drunk
and high.
Yeah,
Drunk
you know
and
what
high.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Drunk,
it's like
high,
Yeah.
selective editing.
Yeah. The one that shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's probably that. Okay. And it took, but reason why I'm glad we all touch and agree on that. Okay. But it took me like 5 or 6 videos because I'm telling you, they will tell you. We had done our A Young segment for a few weeks and they could tell you that was going to be my A Young. It was going to be A Young. These kids can't read. These kids is dumb. I was
Selective
jumping
editing.
there.
You know how this works. Selective editing.
Selective editing.
The guys who could read the card are not going to end up on
the clip. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe somebody messed up on one word and then got through the rest of the words. Whatever. But it did remind me of something interesting. I did a job about a month ago. And I had to hire a camera crew, and the camera crew were mostly young people. And one of them were very young. One of the girls was like 21 years old, right? And we were talking about like her future and all that. Like she was like asking me advice on like how to get to this place, whatever. Mm-hmm. And somehow we got to talking about the pandemic. And we talked about how she essentially missed her sophomore and junior year of high school because of the pandemic. Mm. And so I thought about it. I thought about those videos, right? And I took them on face value. I didn't think about maybe these people were drunk. I hadn't gotten there yet in my progression. But I was thinking like, is it possible? Because there's another video I was going to share in my A Young is of people on Love Island, the show Love Island, just mispronouncing words like over and over, right? And they're all like young people, and they aren't using words out of context. So like this, if you ever watch The Sopranos would do this all the time, like say to just like find a big word in their brain and think it applies to this sentence, but it really doesn't. It's wrong, right? And so I asked her, what was it like coming back to school for you as like a high school student, right? And she was like, I forgot how to learn. She was like, that year or two of just virtual learning was a mess for me. So when I came back into my senior year, all the little tools and tricks that I applied, that I learned on how to be a good, a functioning student, not a learned person. Okay. Not a person that learns, but a person that knows how to be a technical student. I'd forgot those. So I'd struggled in my senior year. So part of me says, I'm not surprised that if we take this video literally, right? I'm not surprised that 25 and 26-year-olds, some of them may have some struggles, because we forget that these are the people that like lost like their freshmen, so their at least 2 of their high school years, right? Mm-hmm. And it even impacted my son And Nargis and your stepson's about the same age as Makai as well. Like, and so this was like first and second grade for him, I think. And I remember Paul knows the story, him falling asleep in the meeting, and then oh, you got it. This is school. You need to. And then I find myself falling asleep in the meeting like 2 hours later, and I'm like, oh, this just doesn't work for anybody. You know what I mean? So I just wonder what you all thought about that. Like,
can I address COVID specifically?
Please, yes, that's basically what I'm
if we really cared about the youth, if we were really a homogenous American community, when the world shut down, we would have just stopped school and everyone would have came back to the grade they left off at. That's how it should have happened. We kept saying the kids are falling behind, but if the world is shut down, falling behind who? Falling behind what? There was no falling behind. Everyone stopped. So when you left and it was the first grade, when you came back, even though you were 8 or 9, it should have been the first grade. That would have been the proper way to do it. But we live in this competitive idea that they have to keep moving as fast as possible. And that's not, and especially if you miss like between kindergarten and second grade, you're establishing your ability to read, but you're also establishing the basic rules of being human, of learning how to share, of learning how to be empathetic, of learning how to raise your hand and wait your turn. And a whole bunch of kids did that time period virtually on their computer. And then when they came back to real life, they were supposed to be 4th graders. And it was like, no, you literally missed that whole segment. You know what I'm saying? And we're still, and one of the main things I tell all the time in my professional development classes, one of the main issues I see is that, students now, and it's probably been this way for a while. But I recognize it now. Students do not go to school to learn. They go to school to prove that they're smart. All right. Which is a whole different attitude. When you go to school to learn, you're unafraid to make mistakes. You ask questions. You look like a fool sometimes because you're trying to figure it out, but you trust your teacher. You trust your classmates. You can make yourself look silly in front of everybody. When you go and the goal is to just get A's to prove everybody you're smart, you will either cheat to make sure you get that A, or you don't participate at all so people don't know you're not smart. All right. It goes against the idea of actually being there to make the mistakes necessary to learn. And most students go to school to prove that they're smart. And when they realize that they're not smart, they would rather turn the whole classroom upside down. I'm sure whatever short time period you've had in a class, you have met the kid that you're like, oh, they're acting up because they can't read.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They would rather be the class clown. They would rather be the class nemesis than everybody realize that they can't read the lesson off the board. You know what I'm saying? And we have to change that and be like, hey, we are working together trying to get better. And Nargis, you said something in earlier and it reminded me of something I say too. I think I say the same thing, but how I say it to the young people. And this is how, if Mr. Crooks wanted to cry to these students in person, this would have been helpful instead of on social media. Yeah. If you can't, if a student can't read on level, it's not their fault, but it is their problem to solve. Right? I feel bad for them. I hate telling kids that. I'm like, look, it's not your fault. Your literacy level is based on the priorities and the capabilities of the grown-ups around you. It's not your fault, but you have to fix this. All right. I'm not going to blame you for however long it takes you to fix this. I'll get you as much help as I can. And like I said, if Mr. Crooks wanted to cry to his students and be like, hey, that paper you turned in scared the heck out of me. I'm afraid for your future. So I need you paying attention in class. If he had his tears in his eyes when he spoke to that kid, then I'd be like, that's you on your job. You know what I'm saying? But if all he has to do is say it to the millions of people watching him on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is, that's not where it needs to happen.
Right.
Y'all remember that clip? Y'all remember that clip of, it was like a white kid, long hair, yelling at his teacher about,
I need you to teach the class. I know exactly what you're talking about.
These kids want to learn.
Yep.
You just going through the motions. Yeah, man. I couldn't. I totally.
I definitely remember that. Yeah. I was thinking back about what Nargis was talking about. My son was born in 1999. And And for a lot of us, for myself, like Nargis was talking about, my mother is an educator. I was homeschooled long ago and all these things. So like, but that isn't the standard norm. Like I completely recognize that isn't, you know what I'm saying, something that everyone has at their disposal. Anton, my son, is still a book reader to this day because, as like Nargis was talking about, as a youngster, he loved to read. Period. Not as a punishment, not of anything. So I think that for those of us that do have that bug, that do have the ability to still impart that, I think that element of it is important. But something that Adam was also talking about, there's a myriad of these kids whose parents don't read. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got to think, I'm currently a 48-year-old grandfather. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a generation of, like what Bomani was talking about. There's a generation where that wasn't stress for them. And we do have the convenience of having, if we think about the four of us right now, I don't know how many actual numbers, aside from my parents, aside from Adam, just because I've been calling him for 22 years and he's had the same number for the longest time. I don't know how many new numbers I had in my brain.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like my brain over the years of just looking down at this phone has gotten so lax into doing that I don't even attempt to put things in my memory anymore. And that element of things is a bit scary. So I think it is important for us to still have elements of analog migrating forward with all of the digital.
Definitely. I mean, I think the bottom line is that, it's two-pronged here. The kids are all right. But it's our job to rear them and make sure that they continue to be okay and be functional adults. And that it's lame to hop on camera and boo-hoo cry.
Yeah.
On the second day of
school.
On
the second day.
Second day of school.
On the
second day, bro.
That's a
Get it together,
spirit.
bro.
It's Brother
She said
Smooth's-
that's a brittle spirit.
I quote my man Dave. That's not my words. That's Dave. That's a Dave Chappelle ism.
Oh,
Brittle spirit is hilarious.
Yeah.
We get
Hey, enough said. Brittle spirit.
You know what I'm saying?
That's great. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our A Young of the Week. A Youngs of the Week, I should say. All right, let me get it queued up because y'all are excited about this one. Let me make sure I find it. All right, here we go. Paul, you going first. I'm going to run your clip for you.
To the grand jury, the largest cocaine dealer at one of the largest universities in America, making considerable amounts of money. Our Meg Oliver has the update from Central Pennsylvania.
Tony, 24-year-old Agostino Abatiello turned himself in this morning and is behind bars here at the Center County Correctional Facility. Abatiello, a former Penn State student, was arraigned on numerous felonies, including multiple counts of possession with intent to deliver cocaine. On Monday, 13 current and former Penn State students were charged, along with a parent of prominent Pittsburgh attorney Paul Robinson, who allegedly tried to conceal evidence. Prosecutors say two off-campus fraternities, Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon, appeared to be hubs for the operation and allegedly used pledges to package the drugs. According to grand jury testimony, Abatiello was purchasing around 100 grams of cocaine from his source in New York every 3 to 6 weeks. In a statement, Penn State said in part, criminal activity such as this has no place at our institution. Penn State says Sigma Chi has no formal relationship to the university, and they have suspended Delta Upsilon pending an investigation. Tony?
Meg, thank you very much.
All right, y'all. Take it away, P.
All right. Adam, Nargis, Bomani. A couple weeks ago, a couple shows ago, I won't even say a couple weeks ago, we did a show talking about Tuskegee University and their lamenting of the no bonnets and no 360 waves, no comfortable gear, because that would teach people, that would send their students down a horrible path of not being able to be disciplined, of not being able to know how to conduct themselves in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? So it's so overtly important for them to not spin. You know what I'm saying? And to not protect their head off of certain things in this world where them being themselves and wearing their own hairstyles has just become law to give black people the right to be able to wear their hair. And many universities and many people were joining in on this. Meanwhile, at Penn State, who obviously doesn't have the most stellar track record of things, you know what I'm saying? So they're not the golden goose of everything done right at colleges. But however, there's a particular group of young white and or Spanish Tariqs, very, very well dressed, very well dressed. Everyone in their suit, everyone supposedly on the up and up, that have a whole cocaine ring going through Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, my point behind this, and Bomani, I'm gonna let you, further articulate and give the people all these gems. The world is changing. It's much like we were already talking about in regard of education. So many things are changing. In regard of our black children, let's continually equip them to evolve with the world. Let's not continually inundate them with old ideologies of the past that truthfully don't serve them well. Obviously, we want to teach self-esteem. Obviously, we want to teach being prepared for any situation in life, knowing how to dress the part, knowing how to be the part. But larger than any of those things that are performative, be what you're talking about. Be it. Like, teach them how to be it. It isn't about the bonnet on your head. It isn't about any of those things. Like, you could be a CEO of a company wearing t-shirts all day. It's about you, the work that you put in, how you apply those things, and even how you evolve with this world as it goes on. So yeah, man, let's get away from that. I mean, like I said, there's been a vast number of people who've learned how to put suits on that do absolutely detrimental things for the world. So let's let's get up off of that and y'all. I mean, hey, all you you dealers and all those things. Y'all might have been looking at the wrong plugs. Might need to go ahead and peruse some of those college.
It's always been that case.
You know what I'm saying? Come on,
always been the case.
Go ahead, Bomani.
Yeah. So, Paul, there was a connection. We said we were going to be connected on the story. The way you connected it's even more than what I initially thought. So, the do-rags in Tuskegee, my son is a junior at Tuskegee.
Yeah,
he is the drum major. He wears a do-rag during the week because he wants to make sure his cornrows are tight when he leads the band onto the field. Everybody at the school understands this. No one gives him a hard time. The band loves him. They're all black. They know what a do-rag does. Yeah, we're getting over that part, right? So yeah, I'm trying not to make too big of a deal of it because I might get my son in trouble because I love telling the story. Every story that's in the news, I gotta. Oh, my cousin does that. Oh, my blah, blah. But anyway, but something Epsilon is Sigma Chi. So my connection with this Sigma Chi story is hilarious. I went to the University of Maryland. I pledged Iota Phi Theta, new chapter. We had the only black frat house on the yard. Across the street from us was Sigma Chi, which stands for Sons of Christ. All right. No one sold more drugs on campus. One of our frat brothers' favorite stories is another frat house coming 40 deep to the Sons of Christ door, knocking on the door. They're 40 deep. Sons of Christ come out just like 8. And they're like, what are y'all doing? It was like they had some beef from something that happened at the bar around the corner. And one dude yelled, "Don't y'all know we all on steroids?" and jumped off the porch and like swinging.
Wow.
Sometime around 2001, 2002, I couldn't find it in the news on a quick search. I got to do more research. Sons of Christ Sigma Chi at the University of Maryland got kicked off of campus because they got caught dealing snow. And it's also interesting. I didn't realize until I just saw the story you played, Adam, that Sigma Chi is not even a recognized fraternity on Penn State's campus. I'm thinking they're consistent around the country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the white dudes you don't want to mess with. You know what I'm saying?
It's a cartel, bro.
It's a cartel.
This is an organized criminal organization.
In suits. And DEA agents And drug agents will tell you if they really wanted to get the drugs, they know where the drugs are. They've been told by their higher ups not to harass the guys in the fraternities. You know what I'm saying? They go look for the guys hustling on the street from our community, but they know if they go knock on enough fraternity doors, they will find all the cocaine, all the H that they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So
dude.
Exactly.
Right. Knock it
I know
off.
you had thoughts on this.
So my cousin went to Penn State.
Okay.
Y'all know these fellas.
And I went up there. This was years ago, right? It's over a decade or so ago. And we were looking for substances. Not white substances. But substances.
Right.
Explain yourself.
Not white substances. You know, not the substances you snort.
Yeah.
But damned if that's not the house we went to.
What? It's common knowledge.
What?
These are those dudes.
No, that's A Young right there, Young. Hold on.
Young. Wow.
A Young.
Y'all a bunch of
As soon as
heathens.
I watched the video clip, I was like,
I know that spot.
They
got it
are
all.
those dudes. And they are evidently from Penn State to Maryland and probably everywhere. I wonder if the kids who are part of that fraternity in other schools now have to go tuck their stuff away. Because the word is getting out that they are those dudes.
That's a cartel, buddy.
Yeah.
That is
that is a front.
what's the chicken joint on what's the chicken joint on Breaking Bad? Let's pull blah, 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 blah.
Right.
With Steve Friend. Yeah, that's that joke, boy. All right.
That's
We cover. Hold on, let me refresh.
on my joint. All right.
All right, y'all.
We don't even
Hey, that's crazy,
you
Nargis.
you can stop after the first. After the first, you'll see.
The blow.
All right, hold on.
The blow.
Bruh. Okay,
Just
Nargis, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
That's tuna fish.
What is she making?
That's mad. That's what she making. Hey, Young.
What is happening, Young?
Mixing.
Oh.
All right.
Just stop. We good?
Please.
All right. Yeah.
I'm lost.
I'm almost Earl looking at that.
Bruh, this woman, you didn't play the beginning of the video when she took the tuna out with her hand and used her hands to
She did to mix it all in. Yeah.
and then went and got a fork. Okay. So this woman has invaded my timeline. And
She
it's one of
posted
those
that.
things I cannot
She did post that, bruh.
stop. So for context, it's a young lady, she's in her 20s. She's postpartum, she's sober, she's like whatever amount of days sober, whatever. So she's like, I'm just posting my life, right? This is what I'm doing on the other side of childbirth. And one of her things that she does is post videos of her packing lunch for her husband for his overnight shift. He does some type of 12-hour overnight shift or whatever. Yeah. She goes through about a bottle of mayonnaise with everything that she...
Just so you can see the caption. That's all.
The comments that be under these videos is hilarious. The lady like, why am I watching this? Like she be doing that and then like lick her finger and it's like...
You know what it is. Go on, keep talking. I'll just scroll through.
She uses the air fryer liners for everything. We're like, where is your Tupperware? Where is your Ziploc bags? What's happening? And then she do the little, she
Hey, the
take the
little
yogurt out of
presentation
the
joint was
yogurt
killing me.
container and put the yogurt in a Tupperware container and then like rotate the Tupperware. We like, bro, did you just take the yogurt out of its home and put it in another home? You could have just put the yogurt in She got a cat on the counter in the back.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
I've seen this woman prepare raw chicken barehanded and like rubbed.
Oh my God, man.
Bruh. She is my forever A Young because it's like I just look away because I'm like people kitchens is really set up like this, and I promise you she needs to be sponsored by Hellman's, by
I think that goes
Kraft. I've never seen so much mayonnaise be incorporated in non-white people's food.
She need to be sponsored by
I
Robert
think
F.
that
Kennedy.
steps up from A Young to Kill Mo.
Yeah, for real talk.
Right.
Real
like
talk.
100%.
Let's go through a couple of these.
Let me ask y'all this.
All right.
Let me ask y'all this. Per the things we were talking about. Now, Nagas, does this woman actually have a husband, or is this woman just creating content?
No, no, they have a very interesting background story. But yeah, she got a husband. They're like, mid to late 20s, first time parents.
Yeah.
She's just like, F it. I'm home with the baby. Let's see if we can monetize this.
Let's go through some of these comments. Let's go through some of these comments real quick. All right. So no fork to mix the mayonnaise with the tuna, but a fork is used to mix the seasoning with the tuna. Got it. Just use a utensil. I don't understand. Why? Why in the fuck are we mixing this with our hands?
Yeah, she's like this.
Is it sad that this is the last thing I'm watching before going to bed?
It is.
I got here. Who knows? Okay.
It is.
I'm not going to read that Spanish.
Step your
The
game
comments
up.
had me on the floor. I used to like tuna until today.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Somebody said my condolences, though.
Now she's on the stop.
All right, yeah.
I feel sorry for bruh.
I do too. But you know what, man?
This might be the best. This might be the best he ever had, though. I'm thinking,
She wraps everything in air fryer wrappers. Like them trying to say,
I never looked at it that way.
He might be living the life. This might be
living life, man. He don't know no better. He ain't never had nothing better. He ain't never had nothing better.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the most flavorless looking lunch I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, no, that's a salmonella waiting for you. A little bit of salmonella.
That's my
mayonnaise.
Adam,
recall. Yo, what's up?
Do you have 2 minutes? I found the story that I was telling you about.
Yeah, text it to me. Can you text it to me?
I put it in the chat. Can you?
Okay,
reach
hold
the
on.
chat
Let me see
here?
if I can find it. Hold on. I got you.
So the first minute is the setup of who this guy is. He's been terrorizing this area. And then the most adorable Philly Joan just comes in and is like, yeah, he ain't had no goals. So I kicked him in the chat.
Yo, hold on. I
had to fuck him up real quick.
Give me a second.
He was perpetrating a nigga that knew how to fight.
And there are multiple interviews with this lady. And she's like, I ain't think he knew what he was doing.
Go.
Searching for a masked man, investigators say has
Let's go.
people. And we have some new video of one instance where the man is seen running after a woman. ABC's Armando Garcia has more from another person who came up close to that suspect and tried to fight him off.
This disturbing video showing a masked man chasing after a runner around 5:30 a.m. near City Hall in Philadelphia last Wednesday. Police
Why her form
in a
so
Chucky-style
straight?
Halloween mask taunted the woman.
He's holding his cell phone up in front of her, at which time he asks her, "Are you ready to die?"
The runner was able to get away after police say the man, who they believe is between 16 and 20 years old, abruptly changed his direction and ran into a rail station. Police say the man chased several people within a 15-minute span. One woman told our ABC station in Philadelphia she spotted the man approaching a runner who was wearing headphones.
I started to wave at her across from the intersection and say, "Hey, there's
Let's go."
you."
Jamaica, who asked not to use her last name, says the man then turned his attention to her. Jamaica says she screamed for help, kicked him in the chest, and was prepared to fight him off.
Hey, young.
What his goals actually were. Like, I had bags. He wasn't reaching for those. It didn't seem like he had a clear goal to actually get in locker room to do anything. So I was like, okay, well, let's see if he can fight. And he couldn't.
Police believe the man attempted to antagonize including men and employees at nearby businesses and indicated he had a weapon, but witnesses have not reported seeing one.
If caught, police say the suspect is facing multiple charges, including terroristic threats, simple assault, and intimidation. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Hey, young.
Yo,
shout out to
one of the night.
First of all,
that's one of the nights.
Let's see if he could fight.
Janika, young.
And he couldn't.
He couldn't fight, young.
Oh,
He
my
didn't have
God.
to go. I had bags. He didn't try to take my
tested it.
thing.
Like, this don't seem right. I think I can
And
fuck
all
him
she
up.
had to do was do this with her glasses. Like, so
Young.
That was it. That's all she needed to do now, because that is
that
it.
was a dork.
I said Yankees.
Bruh.
You know
Little
what I'm saying?
Janika, though. Say you can't fight? That's
You can't
perfect,
fight.
bro.
He's like,
Hey,
I
Nargis.
looked at him. He seemed, he
I
didn't
love
have
that.
any goals.
Hey, Bomani, one night Nargis and I were out. We were at the Howard Theater, right? We were on our way to the Howard Theater, right? We cooling it. You know what I'm saying? We on the street. We on our way back. We just came from the carryout. So we on our way back to the show.
Carry out.
There's a older man in a car, Bomani, and he says something to Nargis to the effect of something like, you a sexy red bone, what he said something like that. Know what he say, Nargis?
She don't want to remember.
She don't want to talk
for it.
So we strolling, right?
You can see it in her face. She about to kick you.
Bro, so Nargis was like, nah, that's not the move. That's not how you approach. That's not anything, blah, blah, blah.
I said, don't be disrespectful.
Exactly what
Because you
she said.
don't know that Paul's not my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's me and Paul. You don't know that
Yep.
this ain't my man. Don't be disrespectful. That's what I
So
said.
bro gets to go, hey, bruh, I'm trying to give her a compliment. She is sexy, whatever. And I'll go,
No, he
hey,
said,
bruh,
tell that bitch
she already
needs to
told you
learn
what
how
it
to take
is.
compliments.
You know, it is what it is. So he's starting to mouth off a little bit. And Bomani, in my mind, this is literally what I'm thinking, Bomani. In my mind, I'm going, man, I would love for Nargis to beat the shit out of bro. Like, I was thinking that in my mind. Obviously, I don't want Nargis you have to square up with any man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not my goal. I'm like, but in my mind, I'm thinking, bruh has no idea what he's doing right now. Like, he has no idea. And he was job old, Bomani. So in my mind, I'm envisioning his knee going backwards. Like, I'm envisioning all sorts of stuff happening to bruh. You know what I'm saying? In my mind. So like, a part of me, like, I wanted bruh to keep it moving.
Paul
But there was a
kept
part
going
of me
back
that
and
wanted
forth
bruh to
like,
learn a lesson.
Nargis, calm
But I'm glad
down.
bruh
Hey,
kept it
bro,
moving.
you need to
But
chill
this
out.
story is
And
hilarious.
I'm like, get the fuck out the car then. You popping off at the
Yeah.
lip. You talking to him, get the fuck out the car.
Hey, Bomani, and I told
Not a
bro, I
good
said,
idea.
bro, first off, you sound crazy attempting to square up, but please be on your way because, like I said, we would have still had a good time at the Howard Theater.
We did.
You know what I'm saying?
We had a great time.
Here's the thing. You never know when you're approaching a master of Kung Fu. Come on. If I teach my kids anything, I say, man, you never know, motherfucker. You just not
real talk.
Might be
And
the master.
That's actually
of the
what you
mystic
learn
arts.
when you learn how to fight. You learn
Yeah.
that you can't tell if other people can fight.
That's
so
right.
you start minding your own business. You know what I'm saying?
You might be up against the iron fist. You just
Right.
right. An iron fist.
Right.
But see, but
Or the
Paul,
Adam.
but thank you.
Or the Iron
You amend what I was thinking. I was like, that would be like, I don't even know, with Shorty with the kick, I don't know what she knew, but having Nargis here right now, I was like, ooh, that would have been her in the situation. She'd have been like,
hey, bruh,
Billy.
I saw her breaking bruh down in multiple ways, dog. Like, I saw her breaking bruh
Hey,
down
listen,
in multiple
listen.
ways in my
Janika-
mind, dog.
Young man.
Multiple. And he was
Janika ain't know no
old, bruh.
karate.
Hey, Bomani, he didn't have
No,
good
she
knees,
didn't.
bro. He was in that Bama was in the earpiece phase. Like he had the clip over earpiece jump.
But like, what you
And he
thought?
would have been sleeping on her anyway.
Like
he
you
would've
thought I
been-
was gonna be like, thank you. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
What is your intention, bro? Like, I know you got granddaughters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was,
And she said that
I was
yeah.
embarrassed
Yeah.
that Paul even witnessed
for him.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't give a fuck. He's ready.
Yeah.
to
But yeah,
ask
don't mess
what
with
he-
Jamaica.
It was
Yeah, they
super
about leave Janika alone.
And you
That's
know what?
what
You
I'm
know what I
saying.
love about situations like this? I don't even know if sis could fight, But what she wasn't going to do was like run and get taken from the back. You
Nah,
know what I'm
not at
saying?
all.
Like
That's what she
it was
said.
Not at
gonna,
all.
it was gonna happen like right there, straight up. We was gonna figure out what was going on. She wasn't
That's
going
that Philly in
nowhere.
there. She was like,
And
what's
you know
up?
what it was? What it was, truthfully, she was able to look at Comey and tell, "Oh, you a
He
goofy.
Yeah.
You scared of."
He goofy.
Listen, it's not funny that he
And
was
you chasing
chasing white
women.
women down the street.
No, it
Okay,
wasn't.
chasing
It
women is
wasn't.
not funny. But I
No.
will say the way that woman was jogging away from him looked very, very funny.
Yeah.
She was speed walk. She was doing this shit to him. This nigga wasn't about nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
he wasn't trying to do
And
nothing.
taking nothing,
You're a
Adam,
little kid trying to scare
taking-
people, bro.
Taking nothing away from danger, taking nothing away from, we should always be cognizant of anybody running up on anybody. Bro was probably out there doing dumbass content. Like he didn't, now, like I
Yep.
said, I'm not making light of the situation because anybody can be dangerous and do anything. But he didn't give off that.
Jamaica's
he gave
dangerous,
off goofy as
evidently.
hell.
That's what I'm saying. Janika figured
Yeah.
it out. She kicked that nigga in his internal organs and he went down.
She even had to put her bag down.
Yeah, she didn't have to put or take her glasses off. She didn't mess her hair.
I
Good for her.
love how she analyzed it so quickly. She was like, wait a
Right.
minute.
Like a straight
He's not
nerd.
behaving
Your
as if
internal
he's
organs
dangerous.
are showing.
What's his
Right.
end game?
He
He's
said
not
he didn't attempt to grab any of my
criminal.
bags. He's like, he's not a normal criminal. He's like, he might be a goofy.
I don't think he's ready for this. Let
Bruh,
me find
he
out.
ain't ready for this smoke.
Nope.
Hey, I think the theme of the night is, every job you may not be equipped or prepared for.
You're not
I think
equipped
that's-
for it,
that's
my guy.
the theme of the
You got-
night.
You got kicked in your internal organs. All right. I'm going to share mine real fast. I'm going to take 10 seconds on mine. I just want to acknowledge it, and then we can move on to the Millennium Moment of the Week real quick.
All
right, man. We talked about Stephen A. Smith a bunch of times on this show. Shouts out to Panama. We had Panama on the show. If you want to go back and listen to the episode where we talked about the whole Jasmine Crockett thing, you can. It's on the timeline. The NABJ issued an award this week, and several people won the award. Actually, only 2 individuals won the award. Several organizations won the award. It's called the Thumbs Down Award, and it's reserved for people that are essentially disparaging the Black community or hurting the Black community with their publications or their work, right? Stephen A. Smith received this award for essentially his reporting and disparagement of Black women. You can see here, they bring up Representative Jasmine Crockett, they bring up Michelle Obama, they bring up other media colleagues like Michelle Beadle, who is not a Black woman, and Kerry Champion. We could have another conversation about the Black women piece of it. I think, one day maybe if we feel like talking about Stephen A. Smith, we could do that. Why I wanted to bring this up for my A. Young is he's been on a rampage defending himself. He's been talking to anyone that will listen to him. He's got all these receipts and this, that, and another. And it's wild to me how he's missing the point. But I don't care if Stephen A. Smith misses the point. I want future journalists and future content creators to get the point. Okay. Right now, you have an opportunity. We all have an opportunity to have a microphone in front of our face. All it really takes is about $20 a month. And if you invest in a decent microphone, you can do this. That doesn't make me feel good to say that out loud, but you can do this. And you have an opportunity to spread not even positivity necessarily, but truth. Okay. You have an opportunity to spread truth. Stephen A. Smith, who's always been hard on Black athletes. I was going to say, we can have a whole conversation about Stephen A. Smith and what he's been up to and how he's really been doing this in the sports realm for a very long time. It's just that he entered the political realm and he got more eyes on him, and now he's very much hated. Okay. But there has been a slight shift in Stephen A. Smith that he's gone extra hard with it, and he's really been spreading and spitting right-wing rhetoric. He may not think he's doing that. I believe he does know that he's doing it. Either way, you cannot talk out 2 sides of your mouth. You can't disparage people, shit on your own people, spread nonsense, know you're spreading nonsense, be a troll, know you're being a troll, and then get upset when people call you out for doing all of those things. Okay? I don't think Stephen A. Smith will ever learn his lesson. I don't care if Stephen A. Smith learns his lesson. But what I want is for younger people that are getting into this content game, and trust me, there's millions of people that still want to get podcasts. It's not dying. If anything, it's getting bigger and bigger. And you could be an academic or a Stephen A. Smith, or you could be somebody that does something that you're proud of at the end of the day. So I agree with the NABJ. They're not the greatest organization, I will say that, but I agree with the NABJ in this situation. He earned that thumbs down award, and maybe he'll change his ways, but I doubt it. So that's my A Young of the week, short and sweet. All right,
cool.
Yeah. All right.
Fuck, bro.
That's our A Youngs. This is one of our better A Young segments. So thank you, Bomani, for joining this one. You threw it. This was good. Okay.
I just saw that story the other day. That made my day. That made my day.
Man. Yeah, man. All right. Now it's time for the best part of the show. It's time for
the millennial moment of the week.
It's the millennial moment of the week. Nargis, what you got?
All right. So this is it's a little silly, but it just makes me smile when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think millennials are very unique in. I mean, we talked about it all the time, right? We try to bring our things that remind us of our youth and make us happy and figure out ways we can incorporate it into our adulthood. So once upon a time, there was this store called the Warner Brothers store.
Oh,
WB.
Hey,
I don't know if this was just PG County, DC, Virginia specific. I don't know if
Doubt Bugs Bunny.
I don't care about anywhere else. I just know the phenomenon that it was in my youth. And you were not fly unless you had a denim WB jacket, character socks, t-shirt with the pocket of either Tweety Bird swinging, bugs coming out, however. And my personal favorite, who I still rock today. I got socks in the drawer. I got a hat. I got a shirt. I made some shoes. My man, Marvin the Martian. Okay?
Okay.
Marvin the Martian is the best character for a few reasons I think Bomani can appreciate. He is the only red, black, and green character. He's the only one that you can identify as black. I feel like he's a Pan-Africanist because he wants to destroy Earth.
Let's go. Let's go.
He the only one that got a strap other than Yosemite Sam. You know what I'm saying?
Not a Pan-Africanist though. That's funny.
Marvin the Martian is my man. Yeah, he got a spaceship and everything. Like, let's get out of here. And because I thoroughly to this day do not like Bugs Bunny, the fact that he did not, the fact that he wanted to murder Bugs Bunny at all times was why he was my man. So every time I wear my non-WB licensed attire with Marvin on it, I just think about, I have a really vivid memory of like, it was a Eid where my dad took me and my middle sister to the WB store, and we each got to get a Looney Tunes clothing item because that's what made you fly. If you didn't have a Looney Tunes jacket, you had to have a NASCAR jacket, right? You had to have one of the two.
Or Eminem Jones.
They wasn't spending $300 on a Daytona jacket. So we had to settle for the WB. So I don't know if that was your stealer. I don't know if y'all had a particular character that you identified with, but I knew from jump I wasn't a Tweety girly, and everybody was on the Taz bandwagon. So I went with my man Marvin, and we still rocking to this day.
Okay.
I hope you've completely worked out this whole Marvin the Martian as a Pan-African thing because it's freaking brilliant. And on top of that, he might be black because his name is Marvin.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
This is what I'm saying.
That's
dark-skinned brother.
That's genius.
Yo,
dark-skinned brother named Marvin. That's perfect.
Marvin with a strap. Hey, listen.
And high tops. He got a high tops. He got a sneakers.
He does.
And he's mad at the world.
He's been a part of the
He got a dog.
He got a dog. Is crazy.
He got a dog. He got a monster. He got a spaceship, and he got a bazooka.
Listen,
you
and a
are
handgun.
coordinated with Marvin the Martian right now. I just brought him up on my computer. Just to,
sure did.
That's my man's.
You tugged at my heartstrings on this one. That's why I reacted the way I reacted. Okay, I did a video last year talking about the DMV foams, and I mentioned how we used to rock foam because there's this whole thing going on about who started the foam posit. It's stupid. DC DMV started the foam posit. I don't even know where anybody's talking about. Okay,
right.
Jim Jones. I don't care what you think. Either way,
y'all can have Timberlands. It's fine.
Yeah, you can have whatever else. We started. Come on now,
and New Balance.
Nike boots. Yeah, all that. It's no argument. But I mentioned in that video that we used to rock them with Gap sweatpants, WB jackets, okay, with the slouch socks, all that. That was now Bomani mentioned I am a half DC, half PG County dude. Okay. So and I say that for a reason. When I moved to DC, when I moved to PG County, I went to Largo High School. And Largo High School was known as you know what's up, okay? Largo High School was known as the fashion school, okay?
Yep.
And so that was a uniform. I wish Jamon was on the line right now, bro, or Nick Charles, okay? They would tell you.
Yeah.
WB jackets, WB sweatshirts, Gap sweatshirts, Gap, the little Gap nylon sweatpant jumps, man. All that, man. I would rock that fit today. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There was no greater look. It was easy work. Easy work, man. Yes. And speaking of those race car jackets, real quick, I had a
That's the Six Flags outfit. Sorry.
That's the Six Flags fit, okay?
Hollow Screen.
World. Okay. Hollow Screen.
Wild World. I'm a little
Wild
older.
World.
Wild
Okay?
World.
Wild World, buddy. Okay. All that's gone now. That's kind of sad. But nah, man. I had the race car jacket. I had a Duracell. Was it a Duracell? I can't remember. It was a black joint. But I was so excited because I bought it with my own money. Me and my man Dirk. Shouts out Evil Golf on YouTube. Check out his channel. Y'all know Dirk. He had the Jeff Gordon jump, and then I think it was Duracell or whatever. It was like black and purple, and I was like, young, I am, Nick, I got the jacket. I'm
flat out.
I am that dude. Girls just walk, oh, you kind of like the jacket. I'm that dude.
Can I wear it?
Can I wear it? Yes, you can. Just bring it back. But she got my coat on. I'm that dude.
You know what
I
I'm
bought
saying?
that my own self. Yeah. Okay. I had the silver foams. I was killing it. Okay. Put that joint in my locker one day. Came back from class. And that bad boy was gone.
Over with.
At Largo?
At Largo, bro,
Yeah,
because I was stunting too much, young. I was stunting, and someone was looking at me.
Yeah.
Someone was watching. I know, homie. I'd seen his combination, or his man gave me, you would share locker with people and all that, or somebody gave the combination away. Everybody denied it. I ain't had nobody I can even fight for real. I just had to eat it. So
take that one.
A valuable lesson. So, but I'm glad you brought this one up, dog. That's a millennial moment for me, bro. Yeah.
The WB store was a time, man. That was a time. WB was right before our college inundation of the big jerseys, and right before my Jabot phase.
Paul, I'm glad you said that. We don't got to spend all day on this, so I'm gonna try not to keep, but I'm glad you said that, because I think about like how style shifted, and I remember thinking, I wish we could go back to the WB. I'm rocking the big jerseys and all that because this is what we doing these days. You know what I'm saying? But I was way more comfortable with the WB jacket and all that we was doing 3-4 years ago. And another thing, and I'm actually gonna do a one of those on this. That's a cheap plug. 2000s fashion is like actually making like a true comeback.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. And so I wonder if I'm be walking down the street and seeing somebody with that 90s. So that's like a late 90s thing, but still you could kind of throw that in like the 2000s, early 2000s kind of like look.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that look will come back, or should
some of the young kids are just catching on to certain things. It definitely will. It definitely will. Whatever they can look back at, and like the same way that they're rediscovering Polaroids and all that stuff, I think it definitely will make its comeback.
Can I ask a very niche DMV, PG County, DC fashion question for 40-year-olds? I wasn't in style in the 90s. I was a Bama. I think it made me much more. I think it strengthened me for the rest of my life. If you see my New Balance collection now, you can see me trying to compensate for that time period. We talked about this. We talked about this, right? But let me ask you this, and maybe I think y'all will understand this. Was I the only one who thought that the jeans were Sucos and people had a pair of Sucos?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey. Hey.
A pair of Sucos.
So look.
Listen.
The only reason I did not is because my sister.
Okay. What you say, dog? That was funny.
The only thing that saved me probably was Hodger, because she had. I feel like
she had them.
No, it was, what was that? wasn't it a go-go band? It was like bongos.
No.
No.
They had the bongo song. They had
no. That was a BT Uncut song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot today.
The bongos, Versace, Parasuco.
Okay, so he would sing that song. And that's the only reason. And I'm like, what is Parasuco? And then talk about Parasuco.
I don't think that wouldn't have done the trick for me though, because I still thought they were saying
a pair of
Sucos.
That's lit.
My son's mom. My son's mom was on the Sucos hard. On the Sucos hard. The Sucos and the Princess
people would call them
Reeboks.
Sucos. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
the Princess. It was the pair of Sucos and the Princess Reeboks back then. That was the hood girl.
Yep.
Or the
like,
bongos.
uniform. Like, yeah.
The bongos or the real fancy jumps with a little bit of money were the Parasucos. The bongos was the second.
The bongos was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can afford those.
The bongos,
Versace,
Versace,
skinny leg
Parasuco.
jeans came in, man. I hated that era.
Narc used to stay up and watch Uncut. That's what you just. That's
when you could just go to Bare Feet and just buy shoes for $10. Rest in peace to Bare Feet.
Yeah, for real. I used to buy my iceberg like t-shirts and all that like off this truck back like behind the Target. It was like a little driving school and like a little church back there, and this truck used to pull up, and the Bama used to, obviously they were fake. They used to have iceberg t-shirts and sweaters and Coogee sweaters and all that stuff. I used to load up.
Back then, that's when I was killing DDTP real heavy, Adam.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We need to do a whole episode about Aja Imani, Hobo, Makunu, DDTP. Sabiato was the only not black joint, and All Days. Madness.
What was the one where was the drawing with the poems on it?
Aja Imani.
That
might be it. That doesn't ring a bell.
Makunu was my shit.
Makunu, but I had a Makunu flight suit.
And we had some brands around this young.
I had a Makunu jump.
Like we had some brands around this young.
So this is a thing. Dog, that's what I'm saying. That was like a Baltimore DC hybrid. Listen, that's a thing. One, I got a guest for us because I actually talked to Nadia, and she's willing to come on the show, and I think she'd be a good guest for that particular episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
But two, that is a thing. Okay, DC fashion, and that's why. And again, I don't want to. We're going for a whole other hour talking about this, but this is a tease of the episode we're going to do on this.
Right.
DC fashion, and I actually missed this. Was very unique. You used to be. I remember I was in Wheeling, Jesuit, West Virginia. Okay, visiting again, Dirk visiting him at his school, and a dude walked in, and it wasn't even a brand. Okay, the dude had on a pair of jean shorts, and they were cuffed. He had on some black slouch socks and some foams, and he had a like a headband tapped around with glitter, with glitter writing on it. And I just looked at him.
That was
All Days joint.
Yup. And I said, "Bro, you from?" We didn't say the DMV back then. I said, "Bro, you from DC?"
Yep.
He's like, "I mean, yeah. I mean, and now mind you, he didn't know I was from DC.
He was from
So
Loudoun
he was like, "No, I'm not from DC. I'm from this spot called PG County." I said, "I know what the hell you talking about, dude." I said, "Yeah, I live in Largo right now." He was like, "Oh, because he was so used to saying we say PG County, then actual express. What you mean, Maryland? What, Baltimore? That's what happened."
Yeah.
So we didn't have the
He's
DMV
always
as the identifier.
We don't know if you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, but I recognized him by his uniform, and we were in Wheeling, Jesuit, West Virginia. Okay,
That's crazy.
You can't do that anymore. So yeah, man, good one, Nargis. This is a banger of a show. I can't even front. I'm
Hell
very
yeah.
happy with this episode. I'm very pleased with today's episode. All right.
Hell yeah.
That's the millennial moment of the week. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Bomani. Hold on, I got to make sure I got to send you out right, brother. I got to send you out right. I'm going to make sure I get
Clap
all
my
this
man.
stuff.
A-B-O.
Go get the album. Download the album. Follow this man.
BomaniArmah.com.
Yes, say it again, brother. Say it again.
BomaniArmah.com. You can see the new music video. The first thing you pop up, the new music video, Not My Ministry. I got a whole bunch of new stuff coming out, but thank you very much for supporting the art that supports you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, before you go
Thank
anywhere,
you, brother.
Bomani, I just want to big you up, man. First off, your family is absolutely beautiful. The job that you do with your kids and even allowing that to be displayed is something that I love to see. I mean, obviously you've been my man for years, but I just wanted to let you know, man. First off, the fam is grown. The boys are tall as crap. The fam is growing at an alarming rate, bro. And I just want to let you know that you and your family just a pleasure to see, and I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We love you, brother. We appreciate you, and we thank you for coming on, man. Seriously. Cool. All right, team. Everybody good? Nargis, you good? You did your Marvin the Martian thing today. You were on point today. I can't even front. You were potting today. You were potting today. You pot every time. Don't worry. You always doing your thing. Appreciate you. Black man, you good?
Wonderful, brother. Wonderful.
All right, man. Well, let's get ready to wrap this up. Follow us on all the platforms. Do all the stuff. You know what to do. You know where we are. Follow us, subscribe, comment, do all of that, share, all of that stuff, man. We really appreciate it. All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Adam Butler. That's Nargis. That's Paul Spann.
Black Man Spann, exit in the building.
Remember to be great.
Elevate us.
Peace. We up out of here. Peace.